And we are live. Waffleboard breaks. How is everybody doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. 36 boxes on the table. Still have 12 of the 13 from the reload on Sunday. One box we hit was a new box, so we still have 12 of the 13. So I know it takes a little longer to fill, especially without our Sunday regulars. No Shirley Mike A, no Ryan S, no Ron. Wasn't here last week as well. Also no Big Al, no James M today. Two of our bigger players, but that means there's spots to go around. There's targets to get grabbed. Obviously, I try to keep the spot prices as low as I can, especially for the first. Usually we do a couple claims in that first week, but 36 spots. I mean, I was able to discount. It took a couple days to fill. $4 spots. You can't beat that on any autographed jersey breaks. Fully licensed. 1 in 36 is our odds tonight. Of course, we have the double box listed for Sunday. That is our last double box for 2 weeks because I will be away. So I'll definitely update everybody with the schedule when I post it on the Facebook page. We're doing a double box. The spots are live. They went live Tuesday. So there will be 35 boxes and 34 boxes for Sunday, June 21st. Next week, we will do two. We'll go back to Tuesday and Thursday again. We will do two Facebook claims. We'll do one on Tuesday, 6:23, one on Thursday, 6:25. The spots will go live that Tuesday to end. Actually, no, they won't go live that Tuesday. They'll go live the following Tuesday to end the double box on Sunday, July 5th. So, basically, these are the last three boxes. After tonight, we'll have 4 more boxes in June. We're doing the double box on Sunday, and then next Tuesday and Thursday, and then we're taking a week off, basically. And then I'll start them the Tuesday I'm away to end. I'll be back, and we'll be breaking the double box on July 5th. So I hope everybody's having a good time, whether or not you have vacations planned, whether you're busy, obviously, with work. I do have some jerseys upstairs to ship out, so I'll be sending out whatever hits today, as well as the last weekend's and last week's jerseys will be shipped out on Saturday morning. So that stuff will go out. So I'll try to rid myself as much of jerseys as I can before I go away. Of course, I guess maybe that Friday I'll probably mail out this Sunday's hits as well as Tuesdays and Thursdays next week. I'll try to get everything out on Friday because obviously I'll be gone early on Saturday and then the whole next week till the following Friday. So, but we'll be back that next weekend. Obviously, July 4th is on a Saturday, and then we'll be breaking on July 5th. So we'll see how it goes. But like I said, I appreciate everybody getting in today. We have some great new jerseys to get hit. We have great old jerseys to get hit. We're getting thin on our runs. Of course, boxes 48 and 59 are piggybacked. If we hit 48, we will also open 59. We hit 59, we will also open 48. So those two are piggybacked. That's this unstated double box, but that's how it is. Those are when we got down to 2, that was the first of the runs that got down to 2. We have one other run that has 2 boxes. We have a single box run. Our oldest box is up there. And then we have 3 triple box runs, 3 boxes left from each of those 3 runs. And then, of course, the last 2 we have reloads. We have 12 from 13 that went in from this past Sunday. We still have 10 from the reload before that. So we've loaded 13 the last 2 times, and we've only hit 4 of those jerseys in all the boxes we've opened. So we've been whittling away at the older stuff. All the old boxes, basically, the oldest boxes are there in our left and our center. Then the 10 boxes on the right and the 12 on the shelf. So 1, 2, 2, 3 on the left, and then 3, 3 in the center, and then 10 boxes on the right and 12 on the shelf. So we're getting there. Like I said, I appreciate everybody. We got a pretty good crowd in today. We got most people have at least a couple spots or more. Greg K is in with us again today. Dan B, welcome back in. Nick F, Brett G, and JG father-son duo. Justin W grabbed a couple spots. Thank you very much. Daryl L, of course. Carl Z, good to see him back again. He's been sporadic lately. Good to see Carl Z back. Mike Z is our first timer here. So we'll see if Mike Z gets some of that newbie magic. He's got one spot tonight. Not always the newbies hit their first break, but usually we've had people that have gotten pretty lucky in their first couple breaks when they've been with us. But Mike Z, welcome in. We got Thomas M, of course. I think he's in and out of the hospital. He's getting treatments. He's been out and about. So I saw him with his dog chasing groundhogs, hedgehogs, porcupines. I don't know what he was chasing. Nothing left. No, there's nothing left, Nick. You guys closed me out. Like I said, I discounted everything today. You grabbed some. I think Greg K grabbed some. Justin W grabbed a couple. I think, let me see. I think everybody else. Oh, Dale, of course, is in with us tonight. And CK, two of our regulars. So they got spots. So, yeah, there was like 8 or 9 that I discounted today. And they pretty much all got scooped up pretty quickly. So I was able to drop them down to, most of them were 4 and 5. And, of course, the best of the spots, I think, was that Glenn Anderson to drop them down to 7. 6 Stanley Cup winner, 5 with the oil, 1 with the Ranger, and we had the discount your spot. So Glenn Anderson was a legend, obviously. Long time watching him with the oil and watching him obviously win the cup with the Rangers. But Glenn Anderson's a great spot. So we'll see if that hits. Like I said, I mean, there's some really nice stuff. Like I said, I try to do right for you guys with the prices. Obviously, you have a couple bigger spots, and you know they take up the bulk of our spot prices across the board. But I try to keep them pretty affordable for everybody. It's fun to hit a jersey, you know, with 1 in 36 odds with like $4 or $5, $6, $7. You know, some of the more, you know, the stars with like middle level stars, and then of course we have our superstar spots which carry our breaks. But like I said, it's gonna be fun. Just one box tonight. I'm excited to see what we got. See if anybody else wants to stop in. I know Nick's here live. Anybody else here live? I know everybody's busy with their lives, work, family, whatever you're doing. Whether you're on vacation already or you've had health ailments. You know, I know a lot of people watch this stuff at their leisure when I post the videos shortly after we're done. Of course, the only Facebook box this week. So I'll be able to get ready for Sunday's double box. Of course, I'll be able to mail whatever hits tonight because I said I'm mailing stuff out Saturday morning. Try to keep that flow kind of going. I missed last week because we had some issues with the flooding here in the basement and the internet being out for a day or so. So definitely threw off my shipping schedule for last Saturday. But still, I do have some boxes upstairs. I made sure everything was nice, folded, packed up, tight, and sealed up, so they're ready to go out. So I just got to print out labels and give them to you guys. So, but other than that, like I said, our season's officially over. NHL draft is coming. Unfortunately, I'm going to be kind of on the move. I'm going to miss most of it. Friday, of course. Day before we leave is the first round. Obviously, the most important. You know, I've attended 3 or 4 of the drafts in the past, depending on where they've been. I've been to Philly for one. I've been to Newark for one. I was in Hartford for one. Did I go to New York for one? Like I said, I've definitely been to at least 3. I'm trying to remember where else I was at to see a draft. Draft is fun. You have, you know, the varied access to the draftees and celebrities, obviously former players. A lot of, you know, front office people are former players. They're pretty accessible, whether, you know, if they're not involved in, you know, their draft, you know, readiness, or I mean, people do interviews, and you know, you're kind of amongst your people. You know, if you recognize these former players, you know, they're very approachable at these draft events. Usually now they break it up. They got 3 days now, at least 2. I know the first round is all one day now, and then the second and third, maybe other than their second day, and then everything else. I think it's 6 rounds total. Can't remember how they break it up this year. I haven't checked it out, but definitely it's on TV. We're watching, you know, get ready to leave, and on Friday night, of course, and then the second and third and fourth, unless you're a crazy draftnik, you don't know as many of the players intimately. And I know they're not. I mean, I'm sure they show. I believe that it's a less time between picks. The trades still being made. Obviously, there's free agents, you know, pending free agents, restricted free agents. So a lot of movements coming in the next couple of weeks in hockey. You know, it's going to be a hot time, obviously, with the draft. You know, obviously with the Maple Leafs, one of the original 6 having the first overall draft pick is a big deal. Gavin McKenna is probably almost certainly locked in stone. Sharks with the second pick. don't need forwards. So unless they trade out, they're probably taking Chase Reed, one of the highest rated defensemen. I think he's one that has probably the best combination of mobility and offensive skills as well as defensive, reliability. So he's probably going to be the second overall pick. Then we have some good teams, up and coming teams with the rest of the top five. Of course, the Rangers in there with 5. Would love to see Malhotra's son drop to them. He, of course, Manny Malhotra, former NHLer, is the head coach of the Vancouver Canucks. So they're in position to grab him, maybe the first center off the board. If they pass on him, I'm sure the Rangers would love to have him fall to him. The Blackhawks are up there as well. So teams that have struggled, that are showing signs of life, San Jose, Chicago, Vancouver, have 3 of the top 5 picks. So we'll see what goes on. Like I said, I'm in Dynasty Hockey League, so I have to pay attention to these top prospects at least. So I enjoy watching, draft. I've recorded a couple times. If I hadn't watched it live, I'm not as diehard, but I have to be tuned in for every minute because it takes a long time. It's a long night when you try to watch the draft on TV. So, but we'll see how it goes. Like I said, it's draft fun. I'm going to be talking about these prospects. Some of them will be making immediate impacts. Most of them will not be. It's rare as you have a player like Schaefer make the kind of impact he had last year, as well as Celebrini the last 2 years. It's you get 1 or 2 of these type players pretty much every draft. We're still, waiting for some of these players to have even more impact. Obviously, the Montreals, the Devils, and the Chicagos and the San Jose's have been stockpiling talent over the last half dozen years. So we'll see. We'll see if it adds up to Stanley Cup runs. Obviously, Vegas built their team a little differently, as having been an expansion team. Carolina's built their team a little differently as well. Their team didn't have anybody with over $10 million a year, so they lack that high-end, big money, super duper star, though they do have, very, very talented team, obviously with the Sebastian Aho and the Svechnikov was his number 2 overall pick. And Jordan Stahl is their beloved captain veteran that's been around forever, but these guys are not commanding the 10, 11, $12 million contracts. So, I mean, is that prohibitive from putting together a Stanley Cup team? I don't think so. Florida has $10 million players. Tampa Bay has $10 million players. So it's more or less how you build your team, not necessarily, who your top end stars are. But you got to believe your system. You got to trust your coaching staff. Your scouts have to bring in guys that are less heralded. Guys like Jackson Blake. I mean, those guys are, Stankoven, guys that are deemed undersized, but definitely can make an impact. That's the reason that Carolina won the cup. Obviously they bring in, veteran players. They bring in guys like Condre Miller that kind of worked his way out of New York, and he was essential on the blue line for the Carolina during their cup run. I mean, Jacob Slavin is a different animal. He's one of the best all-around defensemen in the league. So Carolina had a lot of different pieces of their puzzle, and that's why they're the Cup champion. But having watched them all year long, I knew that they were definitely primed. If they get over that hump to get to the finals, I don't think anybody's going to take it away from them. And Vegas, of course, got hot late. Coaching change helped. Obviously, you have players, but more veteran players, and of course, redemption stories like the Carter Hart and like the Marner. That team is a good team. Stone is a good captain, and Eichel is a fantastic player in his own right, having won a cup with them. And then, they did everything they needed to do. They swept out the Avalanche, which was a surprise to almost everybody, except, of course, in that locker room in Vegas. And they just ran into, they had a 2-1 lead, but they ran into a Carolina team that once they started playing their game, it was pretty much over and over. So Carolina, congratulations again to them. Obviously, they're going to have I don't think they have a high pick in the draft. Of course, they'd had the last pick if that's their only pick. But from trades, they may have other picks as well. But other than that, like I said, it's going to be fun. This week, of course, will be we have a couple of days. Obviously, tomorrow. No, it's next week. So we have a week of draft talk. Of course, next week there might even be some trade talk before we do our 2 boxes. But double box on Sunday. eBay spots are live Tuesday and Thursday next week. Back to our normal Facebook claims. That's just going to be for this week because I'm going away. After I come back, we'll probably be back to just the Wednesday nights as well as the double box on Sunday. But just throw it off a little bit. Go back to our Tuesday and Thursday for just a week. Make sure you get over to Big Al's. He's got his East Coast stuff. He's has some good jerseys. Last night, Bob and Hagel came out. Also, Daryl's doing stuff. I think he might be going away too. I'm not sure what his schedule is, but he has a box opening tomorrow. I'm not sure when his next post would be. And Tuesday and Thursday, still Nick F over at Whatnot. If you guys stop by, I know a couple of you guys do. So, I mean, hopefully, I don't know what Nick, did you open your boxes already tonight? What did you hit? If you're still here live, I didn't see what came out in your boxes. I was getting ready for my stuff on my end. That's why it throws out. But I know obviously not tonight. You do Tuesday and Thursday. So we're on a, we're not usually back on Thursday, but we were today. So to have a chance to stop by the Whatnot to check out your break. But and it's I think Whatnot, you're not able to watch past breaks. That makes it tough. So I reach out to you usually and find out what hit over the night. Usually do at least two. Sometimes you get to a third. I'm not sure how your night went over at Whatnot, but like I said, just one box tonight, so not going to wait around too long. And then we got some people here live, and everybody's going to wait on the video when we open it up. So let's get to going. So here we go. Let's get where's my dice roller and my random? Let me see. Let's go, guys. Dice roller and our list. There's our dice. There's our list. Okay, very good. Let's roll it over. Okay, of course, we do 5 or more on our dice roll to decide what boxes here in order. And we had to skip 43. So only box if we had to skip in the run. So boxes here, the new reload is 44 all the way to 31. We've only hit one of those boxes. We hit, what did we hit? 34. So the box we hit, 34 we hit. So there we go. That's gone. Of course, then there's the 10 boxes from the previous reload. Then, of course, we have 3 runs of 3 boxes. And we have 2 runs of 2. 48 and 59 are attached to the hip. We hit 1. We open other as well. So that's our 1 box, maybe a 2 boxer if we hit either of those 2. And then, of course, 2 box run. And then 17 is our solo box left from that run. So good luck, everybody. 5 or more in our dice roll. See what we got. 10 times the list. 10 times. I'm not sure if that bodes well for the new stuff, bodes well for the old stuff, whatever it may be. 10 times is what we're going to do. The randomization of the list. Top box and the 10th roll is the one we will open. Good luck, everybody. Make sure you're back here for Sunday. Get your bids in. 1 in 34, 1 in 35 will be the box odds on Sunday. So good luck, everybody. 36 boxes. There it is. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the box we're going to open tonight's is going to be box number 59. 59. Oh, that means we open up 48 as well. Congratulations. 59 and 48 will open just like that. Double box. 59 and 48. Congratulations. Both those box number owners. Let's see. 36 times or 36 items, 10 times. Just like you talk about it, 48 and 59 will open up. Let me back both of them out. So we won't have them for Sunday. So just like that, your odds have gotten 1 better for Sunday. So there we go. 2 boxes gone. 1 in 34, 1 in 33 will be our box odds on Sunday. So there you go. So whether or not you have hit tonight, your odds have now improved for Sunday. Congratulations. Congratulations. There he is. Nick is going out. The last 2 boxes from those runs. Let me see. Here's our 48s and our 59. Get our sticker over there. Very good. Congratulations. I'm not even sure who has them, so I got to check the list again. Here we go. 48, 59. Let's see what we got. They'll see, oh, Dan B. Oh, that's a relatively newbie Magic as well. Dan B's not completely new to us, but he's relatively new. So I don't know which is in which. So let's see what we got. 59 is our first box. That's the box we hit. We'll also open it up. Here we go. 2 jerseys coming out. There it is. The Factor. Ryan O'Reilly on the Buffalo Sabres. Obviously, Stanley Cup champion with the St. Louis Blues. Riley O'Reilly, number 90, Factor. There he is. He's the key piece. David Adams. Sticker on that. Ryan O'Reilly. Obviously, St. Louis Legends. There it is. Ryan O'Reilly. Congratulations, ROR. The Factor inscription. Very, very nice. With the A on the front on the Buffalo Sabres jersey. There it is. The Swords. Another former Sword winning the cup. Obviously, the Jack Eagles. Sam Reinhart. Obviously, former Swords that moved on. Have won cups. Congratulations. The Factor comes out. And there it is. Box 48. Oh, that's right. Dale C's been chasing them. I wasn't sure he had them tonight. So there it is. Congratulations on the Factor. Box 48. Just to prove there's no hanky-panky. These boxes randomized. The boxes stay close sealed until we open them. Derek Steppen, one of my favorites. New York Rangers playoff legend. Had some big goals as a New York Ranger. It's an AJ Sports COA. Derek Steppen. Back in the days when they used to have him sign. I mean, he hasn't had that kind of hair in a long time either. Derek Steppen. That's a very old AJ Sports style and COA. New York Rangers. Derek Steppen on the Reebok. Love it. Old school Broadway blue shirts. Derek Steppen. 21 in your playbooks. Number 1 in your hearts. Look it up. If you have YouTube, which I'm sure you do since you're watching it, Google Derek Steppen, New York Rangers. You'll see the big goals he scored as a New York Ranger. Playoff legend for them. Derek Steppen, nice silver P pen. AJ Sports COA, number 21 on the Reebok. I love the Reeboks. And like I said, I didn't love them when they first got started, but, having done this for many years and having tons of my PC, I've grown to enjoy the Reebok jersey. So there we go. Derek Steppen, Ryan O'Reilly, stepping in the Factor. Congratulations. Just to confirm, let's see we go. Yes, that's true with ROR. Let me see what we got. That is correct. There's going Derek Steppen's going to Dan B. I said that might be your first hit, Dan B. Congratulations if it is. I know you've been with us on and off for the last several months, grabbing Rangers as you can. And that, of course, Ryan O'Reilly, the Factor, going to Dale C. Congratulations, fine sir. Very, very nice. Thank you much. Like I said, double box goes out. I stated that was going to be an unstated double box, and there we go. We hit one. We opened them both up. So just like that, we're one less box. The odds have improved for everybody on Sunday. It just doesn't take much. Just like that, one less box. So 1 in 34, 1 in 33 will be our box odds. So get your bids in. Of course, I'll end both of these on eBay. Just like that, 2 jerseys gone. So, man, it's nice to see some of the old stuff go out, even though the new stuff is there to be hit. So, congratulations. You're very welcome, Dale. Dan B, I don't know if Dan B's in here with us. I don't think so. Dan B's not watching. He'll be watching the replay. So, I'm going to try. Actually, he doesn't have Facebook Messenger, so I can't even message him directly. So, I'm happy when I see him show up and claim because there's no way to send him messages. So, Dan B, if you're watching, whenever you're watching, congratulations. I don't even know if I have your mailing address, so I may have to hold off sending out Derek in the mail to you. So, but congratulations on that. Congratulations, Dale. Like I said, it's always nice to hit. Like I said, the odds are better and better now for everybody. So, double box on Sunday, and we'll do 2 single boxes next Tuesday and Thursday. So 4 more will go. Like I said, that leaves us as we'll be at 30, I guess, and then 30 and 29 for that double box on July 5th. So 4 boxes to go before I head out for a week. And then we'll get back on July 5th to do a double box. So congratulations to Dale and Dan B. Sorry for everybody that did not hit tonight. Make sure you continue visiting the other vendors. It's a great community. He's got to support each other. So I'll be looking to buy spots. I think we have a break tomorrow over at Daryl's, which is already filled, but we'll see what he hits tomorrow afternoon. And then, of course, Big Al, Monday and Wednesday, he does the East Coast stuff. Still some great hits. Community hits over in that are the, I think, is it Connor and who's the other one? It's a pretty some big names in this series. I don't know who who's the unclaimed hits over there. I think he's got Connor. No, Connor Bedard is not community. I think Gordie Howe's not community. I think is it McDavid? McDavid might be one of the headliners. That's community hit. And I don't know who the other community hit is. Yager's not a community. He's one of the headliners. Pictures headliners. Austin Matthews is a white. I think Fanatics Premium. That's not community. But I definitely know the Connor McDavid and one other are the community hits over there. So stop by, grab spots over at Big Al stuff Monday and Wednesday, and check Facebook pages for Daryl's stuff. His stuff will be listing, periodically. I don't know if he's going to be away for a little while, but and do stop over and check out Nick's stuff on Whatnot, because gotta keep supporting each other. Gotta keep running strong. So thank you much, everybody, for the fill tonight. Congratulations to our winners, and I look forward to seeing everybody on Sunday. Until then, Waffle Board Breaks is out. Take care, guys.